Hi there, this is Shawn Hansen, and it's Make It Monday. Today, I'll be walking you through the process of creating several Grimalkin Fun Facts journal pages in PowerPoint using some of my smart AI graphics. We'll create the journal pages using 3 of the items from the Vintage Grimalkin Graphics Pack with MRR, which you can get at the link you see here. Okay, here we go. I've got a new PowerPoint file open, and I'm going to go ahead and delete this prefab content. Then I want to resize this to 8.5 by 11. So for Mac users, I'm going to go up to Design, Slide Size, Page Setup, and change this to 8.5 by 11. Click OK, and the scaling doesn't matter. If you're on a PC, you'll go up to Design, Slide Size, Custom Slide Size, Slide Sized 4, and then choose 8.5 by 11. Now, I want to add my first Grimalkin graphic. This is a little bit different if you're on a Mac than on a PC, so I'll go with Mac users first. I'll go up to Insert, Pictures, Picture from File, and I want to choose this first Grimalkin. This is actually number 1, the transparent version. On a PC, you go to Insert, Pictures, Insert Pictures from this device, and grab your Grimalkin. Now, I want to resize this a bit. And pull it in about like so. And then center it. This is pretty close to being 6.5 inches. So to make it a nice round number, I'll do that. And I want to go ahead and go up to Align and put this in the center. And I'm going to bring it up just a bit for now. Now I want to open up the selection pane. If you don't see yours, you can go to Home and Arrange and Selection pane. And I just want to call this Grimalkin. And then I'm going to save this on my desktop, and I'll call it Journal Demo. And save. Now, the next thing I want to do is add a rounded rectangle. So I'll go up to Insert and Shape and grab the rounded rectangle and then just draw it in about like this. And I'm going to size it to 2.5 by 6.5. And then I just want to drag it up so that it's right below my Grimalkin. And then I'll move them up a bit. I'll actually group these briefly, and that way I can put it right in the center, like so. Then I'll ungroup. And I want to change the color of this rectangle. I want it to match the color scheme in my Grimalkin. So up in Shape Fill, I'll go up to More Fill Colors. And I actually have a hex code I want to use. So it's A0, A6, 9B. And click OK. And I don't want an outline, so I'll turn that off. Now, in advance of this video, I did some research and I found some fun facts about Grimalkins. And I want to paste in one of those facts. So I'm going to the Word document that I saved those in. And here are just a few. I'm going to copy that and then go back to my PowerPoint and double click. I want to double click out of any of the items there and then just paste so that I've got the text that I want. Now I want to go ahead and style this. So I'm going to select it all and I want to center it. And I also want to change the font. I'm going to use Quicksand Regular. And I want to make this 24 point. If you don't have the Quicksand font, you can download it from Google Fonts. It's free for commercial use. Or if you'd prefer, you can use a font of your choosing. Next thing I want to do is, again, I want to match this font color to coordinate with my Grimalkin. So with that highlighted, I'm going to go into More Colors. And again, I have a hex code I want to work with. It's E8. And I'll click OK. And then I'm just going to resize this a bit and move it into my rectangle. And I'll stretch it out just a bit. And then I'm going to center this all like so. And then just rearrange it a little bit to make it look nicer. And I'll save. Now I want to do some cleaning up. So in the selection pane, I'm going to call this info. So this is actually the text box is going to be info. My rounded rectangle is going to be info box. And I've got my Grimalkin. So I'm going to put these into order with the Grimalkin on top, the info, and the info box below, and save. And the last thing I want to do is I want to recolor the background of this slide. So I'm going to go up to Design and Format Background. And I want this fill to be the same color as my text. So I'm just going to choose that and save. Now with my Grimalkin fact page, I want to then add a journaling page. And I don't need some of what's on this slide, but I don't want to do any recoloring. So I'm just going to right click and duplicate. And then I'll get rid of what I don't need. So I don't need the rectangle and I don't need the text box. I do want the Grimalkin, but I don't want it active right now so that I can work on the table I'm going to include. So I'm just going to toggle it off. And then what I want to do is I want to insert a table. And it's just going to be a 1x8 table. And I'm going to pull this up towards the top more. And I want to resize it left and right. And just put it in the middle. And then I want to add rows below. But before I do that, I'm going to choose, again, my Quicksand Regular. If you're using a different font, go ahead and match it here. I want this to be aligned left. And I want this to be 14 points. And then I'm just going to click in the bottom row. And you see how this is kind of at the top? I'll select this again, and I want to make sure that this is in the middle. And now I'll go to Layout, and I'll just insert below to sort of fill out the page. That looks pretty good. And now I'm going to select all of this, go into Table Design. I don't want any fill. I do want lines, and I want the pen color to match the rectangle I use. So that's this color here. If you don't see it in your recent colors, again, the hex code is A0, A6, 9B. So I'm going to click that. And what I want is all of the inside borders and the bottom border. And if I click away, you'll see that's there. There's an outline on this. I want to make sure there is no outline. So I'm going to go back to no border and then go back to inside and bottom border. And that outline is gone. And with that, I can turn my Grimalkin back on. And this table, I'm just going to call it writing space. And I'll save. And I do want the Grimalkin below so that if I want to adjust the table or type in it, it's not going to get in the way. The next thing I want to do is I want to work on the transparency of my Grimalkin. So I'm going to go to Picture Format and Transparency and Picture Transparency Options. This is going to be 50%. If you're on a PC, you'll go to Picture Format. You'll toggle the little box below your sizes. Click on the image icon, transparency, and then 50%. And then I'm just going to hit return. And I actually want to move this down to the lower right-hand corner, kind of like this. Click away. I like the way that looks, so I'm going to save. Now, at this point, what we've got is a set of journaling pages, but we've also got a template to create more. Let me show you what I mean. I'm going to select both of these, right-click, and then duplicate. And you'll see that by doing that, I've retained the color scheme. If I undo that and I just copy and then paste, I lose the colors in the background. And that's a step I don't want to have to repeat. So again, I'm going to just select both of these, right-click, and duplicate slide. Then I'm going to jump to slide number 3. And I'm going to swap out the Grimlican by just right-clicking, change picture from a file, and I'll grab number 3. Now I'm going to plug in the new fun facts. So I go back to my Word document and copy this, come back to my PowerPoint slide, and I'm going to select that. And then I'm going to go into Edit, Paste and Match Formatting, and then just click away. If I need to just move this a little to center it again, there we go. And then I'll come to slide number 4, and in the selection pane, I'm going to grab this Grimlican, change picture from a file, replace it. I do have to go back and reformat the transparency, so I'll do that. And I want to move this guy down just a little bit, like so, and then save. Let's do that once more. I'm just going to duplicate the last 2 slides. So select them both, right-click and duplicate slide. I'll go to slide 5, choose my Grimlican, change picture from a file. This one's going to be number 15 that I wanted to work with. Go back to my text document here, get my new fun fact, select everything, edit, paste and match formatting, and I want to just rearrange this a bit. I'll save that. Then I'll go to slide 6, my selection pane, swap out my Grimlican. Redo my transparency to 50%. And I'm going to move this one up a bit. Just tap it with my arrows and save. You can keep adding more pages by simply duplicating the last 2 slides you created and swapping out the content as I've just demonstrated. And that is how quick and easy it is to create Grimlican Fun Facts journal pages in PowerPoint. Remember, if you don't yet have your copy of the Vintage Grimlican Graphics Pack with MRR, you can grab it at this link. This is Shawn Hansen. I hope you've enjoyed this Make It Monday and that you've been inspired to create something new right along with me.